Today on Midwest Ghost Center's Dark Matter podcast, we talk about an investigation we did years ago in Bolivar, Missouri. Welcome to Midwest Ghost Center's Dark Matter podcast. I'm John, Chris, Tyler, and Dustin all here today for the podcast.
Now, this isn't only one out of our archives, but this is like one of the first. This is old. This investigation that we did, I don't even know. Technically we're all four involved because you lent us your equipment.
Yes. I sent the equipment, and then I also did some listening to the audio, too.
Yes.
I don't even remember this.
This is the place with the macaroni out in the yard.
Was I in high school still?
Maybe. It's been a long time ago. I don't remember. I know the three of us went because it took us forever to find it. We drove around. Remember, we went across the railroad tracks, and we're like, this isn't even like a neighborhood.
Is this the one where the owner just left?
Yeah, she walked away.
Into the sunset. Just walked away.
Yeah, she just walked off. Like, you headed off down the road. We never saw her again. She gave us no instructions on how to lock up.
Nope.
She gave us no.
She just left.
She just left. And we to this day don't know where she went. She just walked away. Like, okay, well, have fun.
I wonder if she was really the owner of the place or a renter, and you just didn't know to check it. There you go. How do you even know that was even a real person?
I can't even remember. Let me look at our synopsis here real quick. Renter. She's a renter. The renter of this home in Bolivar. I didn't even remember that.
See, at this point, were we so early that did we even think to ask the homeowner, like the actual owner of the...
No. No.
We
had not learned the lesson yet that we learned whenever we went to Willard, whenever the guy was going to get an attorney and sue us. Remember?
Yeah.
We did an investigation in Willard, and we put the results on the website, and the guy was going to sue us because apparently we didn't know or didn't fully understand that they were renting the house and that there was an owner out there somewhere.
Well, we didn't think to ask.
Who might not want this information public, which in this state, you don't have to make that information public.
Well, he didn't have to threaten us with a lawsuit either.
He didn't. And he finally gave in. He finally gave in and said, as long as we take any identifying markers out of the photos or out of any of our stuff we said, that we could put it up, which we did. But for the longest time on our website, it just said, and it may still, the Willard one just said home in Southwest Missouri. We didn't even say what town it was in because we really wanted that on the website, obviously, because it was one of our most active places we'd ever done. But
still is.
It still is one of the scariest. But we had to take any identifying markers off of it, and that was why.
So that was Macaroni House?
The one we're talking about in Bolivar. Yeah, this is the Macaroni.
Was the one that the owner got upset at?
No. That was Willard. That was Willard, the one in Willard. Now, we can tell a little bit about this house, and the reason we're doing this house is we were just kind of looking through because we've got we're going to
Was this the house that had the padlocks or something on the
outside of the doors?
Yeah, on the outside to lock people in.
It gets weirder than that, though. We can even talk about more weird crap than that. But
is this where we found the feces in the upstairs? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
This was not good.
And there was no AC that worked, and it was July, and it was
about 98 degrees
crazy
outside.
Hot.
Yeah, it's all coming back to me now.
But the reason we thought we'd run down this one is because we're getting ready here in a couple of weeks to go back to a place that we went a long time ago, and we're gonna run down the synopsis of our last time there. Next time, for this time, we're gonna do the outdoor one.
Oh, the cemetery?
Yeah. Yes. We just haven't been saying.
That was the first one I ever went to.
We haven't been saying exactly which cemetery, not for any reason because they asked us not to. We just didn't want anybody. We didn't want it to be a group investigation with the public, so we haven't really said where we're going. But we're gonna go there, and we just got to looking through some of the older investigations we'd done around that same time, and this one popped up, and we'd never talked about it on this podcast before. We talked about it on our older podcast, but never here. So to kind of give a synopsis of what happened. First of all, this was before John was even part of the group officially. We asked if we could borrow some cameras and crap, which we did, and we set those up. And then after the fact, John went through some of those cameras, and this was actually one of the first moments you ever heard anything.
Yeah, this was my very first moment because prior to this, and I think that this is true for everyone. Until you actually have something that happens to you, you are never going to be a believer in any paranormal stuff at all.
No. Yeah. It's true. And this was, I think, one of the first, because we'd done like cemeteries and we'd done businesses that we had permission to go into just in at a very amateur level. I think this may have been one of the, if not the first, I think it was the first house we ever actually did. It was like the first person who ever contacted us on our website and said, hey, we need you to come to, I would like for you to come to this house. So we did. So just to give kind of a overview of what we ran into whenever we went there, it was me and Dustin and Tyler, and then we had John's cameras with us. And she had several claims, the shadow figures, voices whispering, stuff being moved. And we did have several of those things happen.
Pots of macaroni appearing in the
and then, since I'm sure she doesn't live there anymore, because I did try to, there for a while, I would keep in contact with people, for the months after, and hers finally faded away. So I'm figured she moved away. And it's not like we've given the address here anyway, so we can talk freely about it. So when we rolled up on this house, first of all, it was old. It was an old 2-story house, and she was renting it. It was her, and I don't remember how many kids she had to live there with her. There were several. They were her kids. It was just her and the kids that lived there.
It was very old, by the way.
Yeah, it was really, really
earlier.
Oh Lord, I would say it was older than that. I thought I would have a year here it was built. We used to look that up. I either couldn't find it or didn't put it in here because, like we said, this was a long time ago. So when we rolled up on the house and went inside, it was interesting because there wasn't a lot of furniture in the house. There was a TV stand with a TV on it. There was stuff in the kitchen, but no real. Were there bedrooms? Oh yes, there was. There was a baby crib upstairs. I forgot because it blocked the window that was painted shut.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm remembering that now. Let's just talk about the house in general because it was very odd. It was hot. There was no AC. There were tons of flies inside. Remember?
Hundreds of flies.
And when you'd turn the lights off to do our stuff, then flip the lights back on, the ceiling would just be covered in flies, which we're not saying is paranormal. It was just weird. I mean, when you keep a pan of macaroni on the front yard, it's not out of the question you're going to draw some flies. But when we talk about this macaroni pan, let's go ahead and hit that real quick, just to give you an idea of the house that we're dealing with.
Why'd we go outside? What were we looking for?
I don't know. We were looking to see if
something was making a noise or something.
We were checking to see if there would be anything out there that would be making the noises as she had claimed.
And then we found it.
The reason we went outside is to see if there were anything that would be making the noises that we had heard, and we found a half full pan of like Kraft macaroni and cheese that had been thrown out the door in the front yard.
Out the window.
Are we saying that's paranormal? No, not at all.
It was out the window because I remember I did further investigation and found
it was right outside the kitchen window.
No, it was literally there was the sink. There was a window right above the sink, and then the pan was just right there.
You remember on King of the Hill when Bill was getting into what is it called when you amend your own soil for plants and stuff? What is that called? He was wanting to make his own this soil where you use like food and you use compost. Bill wanted to do composting on King of the Hill.
Yeah, I remember this.
And he did that by going to the window outside his kitchen window and just scooping up all the old food. That's what we were dealing with here. Anyway, the house wasn't the cleanest. There was evidence of some feces.
I mean, if you go by the
that was a weird place to cut me off. Okay.
If you go by the definition of paranormal, it is.
True. Yes, it was outside the normal for sure.
Outside the normal.
It wasn't supernatural.
Because you got the macaroni pan right there next to the sink. Just do the thing.
Just do the thing, man. Just dump the macaroni
while
and
you
clean
open
the
the
pan.
window and toss it out. So before you call us to investigate, just get your macaroni pans out of your front yard.
And in this house's case, clean the feces out of your closets.
I know exactly the chain of events that led up to the macaroni being thrown right out the window. It was sitting on the stove for probably 3 weeks.
Yes, correct. And then it's like, I'm not cleaning that.
I better clean that pan. Oh, it's all stuck, so I'm just gonna toss it out the window.
Yeah, that's exactly what
happened.
happened.
Look, we're not being mean here.
We're not dwelling on the macaroni. We're just kind of dwelling on the macaroni.
We're setting the scene for you. It's very important to understand.
But upstairs in that bedroom, we did find feces, and we went to the point of photographing it and researching feces to see if we could determine if an animal had left it, and I think it was undetermined. I think the closest we ever saw was a raccoon, which would account for any sounds you might hear upstairs. And, there was a window up there with a tree nearby. Would a raccoon jump in there? I don't know.
They will. They are huge, too.
But I don't know. But anyway, we did find that. So that's kind of just an idea of what we ran into in the house up there. We did catch some EVPs, and we're going to run through some of those for you. And we caught a video, too, because this is where we set up the flashlight, remember? And we said, we set up a camera pointing at the flashlight, and we said, if you're in here, we're going to step outside. You can turn this flashlight on and off. We've rigged the flashlight so you just have to touch it. Remember that? And then when we came back in, the flashlight had actually been slid off. It was actually turned into the off position. It wasn't just touched and made to go off. The flashlight was actually off. And we did catch that on a video, which we have that we put up on YouTube a long time ago. But we do have the EVPs here that we can run through, too. Let me see here. I'm going to start...
Now keep in mind that these EVPs were caught on older equipment.
This was a long time ago, and I can't even remember exactly, except for the one we listened to earlier, exactly what they're going to sound like. But I'm going to go ahead and pull one up. And we'll just play it for you, and then we'll kind of break it down afterwards.
In here. I'd like to hear you say hi.
There was the whispering right there.
Yeah.
It was pretty obvious. Actually, that sounded a lot better than it was going to in my mind.
Very creepy whispering.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was
that one.
let me go to this was an old one, man. Let me go to that spot. Oops, hang on. Say what?
Nothing. I forgot about it.
I'm going to go to the whispering here. And
That's pretty good. I'll be, that's a good whisper.
And we didn't hear it.
It might be worth trying to reprocess some of these really old ones.
Yeah.
Well, you can go through any. These are all on the website. If anybody's, so this one was uploaded 12 years ago.
Oh wow, unbelievable.
Yeah. So these are old. And these are all on the website. Let me see what number this is on the website because of that stupid numbering system I use. 0653 is the one that we're looking through here. Here is one where we were upstairs. Dustin asked whether we had left a door open in the room. Okay, yeah, this is interesting. Let's go ahead and play this one for you real quick.
Hey Chris, we left this window open, or this door open, right?
Which door is that?
To this little closed off area.
Oh, it doesn't look like something.
Whoa. Ooh. I just got a cold chill all the way through my body. Like I am. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is it not colder right here?
It is colder right here.
Okay, so you could hear what sounded like a little kid back there. That's probably why we went outside, is to make sure that there weren't people outside, because we didn't. Did we hear that? We didn't react like we heard that.
See, I don't think you really realized how good a material you were catching.
Well, no, we had no idea that we were catching any of this.
I don't think we heard any of this at the time. I think we heard it all after.
Imagine how much we've lost.
I know.
Didn't hear and then threw away.
Yeah, for sure, guaranteed. No telling how much. You mean stuff that we just threw away and without even.
Back then, yeah.
Let's go to that spot here one more time. I remember now that I play these exactly what it looked like. Remember there was like a bedroom, then a step down, and a hallway, and
very
right across.
steep stairs, steep narrow stairs.
Yeah. And the one thing we didn't hit on
at the very top didn't it have a landing?
Yes.
And then bedroom.
Yeah.
Back to that last EVP. Really, both those EVPs were a lot better than I remember them being. I haven't heard them 13, 14 years.
I haven't either. I'm going to go to that spot one more time so you can hear, because she did say one of her claims was hearing and seeing kids in the house. And the reason why, remember the reason why she thought is because at one point that house, what is it called when you're a church and you have a house that your preacher or priest is allowed to live in? That's the whatever house. That was what this house was for a nearby church. It's where.
So it was a preacher or priest house that had locks on the outside of the doors.
Well, and remember he took in kids that were.
I don't like where this is going.
I don't like this at all.
But you remember she said he took in kids that were. It was essentially like a small mini homeless place more like.
I know what you're trying to. I know the term.
I can't think of the terms I'm trying to grab here.
Orphanage?
Yeah, kind of like that, but not an official one.
I can tell you what it sounds like.
It's like a placement home. It continues.
Yeah, like a halfway house.
Yeah,
halfway type house. But anyway, apparently she said there were a bunch of kids who lived there that he kept there. And that's why she said there were locks on the outside of these 3-bedroom doors upstairs.
Jesus.
Remember, we saw the locks.
That's not a good enough reason
I
for
saw
me.
the locks.
We saw the locks ourselves.
Look, that's bad enough. You don't have locks on the outside of bedrooms.
It's not
It
a good
gets
idea
worse
for
when there
fires.
are kids in there.
Yeah.
It makes it sound worse, and it even sounds worse if you're a preacher and there are kids in the closet. So it's all bad.
It is bad. I mean, yeah, you can't lock the outside of a bedroom in case the place catches on fire, but either
Especially
way.
if your only escape route is like painted shut.
I know, and that window would not open
No.
or close. We tried because we wanted to see if we were maybe hearing noises from outside. Those windows had been painted closed, completely painted closed. There was no opening or closing them, period. I'm going to go to that spot here if I can find it again.
Oh, it doesn't look like something.
Whoa. Ooh. That just got a cold chill all the way through my body.
Right there.
Like
And that is so clear, and it's so close to the recorder, it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Now, this is another good one where this is one of the first times we ever caught a name. We never really were 100% sure what the name was. This was in the girls' room upstairs, which I don't remember which one that would have even been. It doesn't even matter at this point. But let's go ahead and roll this one. I remember playing this one. I do remember this one.
So if you step up to this recorder and tell us your name, or if you died here.
Yeah.
So you could hear back there.
I
Okay.
do remember that one.
Now this one, now that you played it, now that I heard it, I distinctly remember it because I probably listened to this 50 times.
Yeah, that was a big
It's
one.
weird
for me.
because we didn't hear it, but it has the same echo or room,
It's the same thing as
room
the other
sound as
voice.
ours,
It's,
as our
and it's
voices.
the same voice as the other one we just caught.
Sounds very similar,
Sounds like
yeah.
a small child. It's very clear.
I'm going to go back to that spot one more time here.
So if you step up to this recorder and tell us your name, or if you died here.
Does it say Mama?
I think she
Emma,
says. I
Anna,
thought she says
Mama.
Nona.
No, yeah, we've had like 4 different things we've thought it may be, and we can play it again here and see. We've thought Emma, Anna, Mama, and John's thought Nona at one point. I have no idea, but let's go play it again.
So if you step up to this recorder and tell us your name, or if you died here.
I have no idea. I
God,
still
dude,
can't
that
tell.
is wild to me.
I might go home and play with some of these later.
Yeah, you can pull up any of these. They're all on the website, mwghosthunters.com. You just click on the evidence archives link, and it'll go to 0653, I believe.
I
Yeah.
can't believe we haven't done that before. Try and collect some EVPs.
If we
that
caught
haven't
this
heard in a while,
today,
and-
this would be like the biggest thing for us. Like,
This was a big
is
thing
like-
for us then.
Yeah, but
huge.
I just don't remember it. It's crazy. I've forgotten completely about this. This is some of my favorite EVPs.
Now, so far, these have all been like kid sounds. This one is one we caught upstairs that sounded more like
Oh my God.
an adult. It's not a voice. It's.
But you know, though, this all makes sense. If you had a foster home, maybe there was some stuff going on there that shouldn't have been, or even if there wasn't, and these kids were still there, spiritually.
Yeah, I don't like it, man.
I mean, this really lays out a scenario of maximum creepiness.
It does.
Yeah. So this one was caught. Recorder was on the stairs. The 3 of us were outside, and 17 minutes after we went outside, it sounds like jumping or heavy boots walking on the floor upstairs. I
remember this. I remember this.
Don't
I remember this.
what it sounds like, but I'm going to pull it up here and we'll see.
That's pretty amazing.
That's good.
Best,
yeah.
That's some of the best running or
I
walking
can't tell
we've
if it's
ever
walking.
caught.
You know what? I don't know if that's heavy boots. You know
That
what that
sounds like
kind
a-
of sounds
like
like?
a
A
child.
small
A little kid
child
running up the stairs.
running or skipping
I
around.
agree.
little kid
I
with
agree now that I
boots.
hear it.
A little kid with some boots on. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
got a
agree.
fast
Or just, I'm
cadence.
thinking like even barefoot socks on hardwood.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
If you're
yeah,
just jumping up and down stairs.
It has more of the cadence of a young person
It
than.
sure does. It doesn't sound heavy. It
I mean,
sounds like
I
a-
think
and
we put a we
The recorder was downstairs, wasn't it? So
On
you would,
the
it was on the stairs.
stairs.
you would hear that bassy.
Yeah,
The bass
that's exactly
coming-
the way it
coming
would
through
sound
the
if you
walls.
were doing it.
Let me go back and do that one more time. We were not in there.
So
we had been
creepy.
outside almost 20 minutes at this point.
Listen
'cause
how quick it hits
it
too.
was hot as hell
it-
inside. Oh, here we go.
That's a little kid. That's
that
jump
is
back and
just
forth, back and forth, back and forth.
wild to me. That's crazy.
I agree now that I hear it. Now that I listen back, I mean, I probably should go through and amend these what
It's just it's stepping too
It
quick to be an adult.
Almost sounds like a child going upstairs, and I only say that because one step is noticeably louder than another. So,
And
like,
here in a minute, on that note, because I remember when we were there and we went upstairs, and I haven't listened to this again to confirm, There was one step that squeaked when you went up, and we do have audio captured from the stairs. Let's see. We were outside again, and you can apparently hear that step squeak. I've got that one next. Let's go ahead and play that one and see what we've got here. We're going outside right there. I did hear it. I did hear it.
Again, I picture a small child just like skipping around or running down or walking downstairs.
So this is the one we played earlier to test our audio, and I said, why the hell did we put so much at the beginning? We put so much at the beginning to show we were leaving. Because at the very beginning, that's us going outside.
I don't know what's making all the background noise because they did not have air conditioning.
I don't know.
It's just those recorders.
I guess it's just
bad
the room.
recorders.
Yeah,
It's what happens is if you really want to know, the reason why those recorders are so cheap is because they have bad preamps in them.
Oh yeah,
and if it's got a bad preamp, will introduce a tremendous amount of noise.
I don't even remember what recorders were used.
I don't have them anymore.
It's the signal to noise ratio, right?
Yeah.
And those recorders were from like the year 2000.
Oh, before.
Right. Yeah.
Probably before, I'm sure.
Those are some of the very first digital recorders. Those recorders are so old that there is no way to you have to transfer the audio in real time out of a headphone jack, which is going to add more noise.
It got to the point
back.
Well, I didn't have to do that. So I know I did have software on my 3 laptops ago. I had the driver for it, and it would pull it right off
through USB.
Yeah.
Because
which was huge technology at the time.
Those recorders were the ones that had just taken the place of tape recorders.
Right. Yes.
That improved upon a little bit with the addition of like USB.
And
it's the kind of recorders that people would bring to class and set.
That's exactly what they were for.
Point being, they still weren't very great.
They weren't great, and I remember each one. There were 2 of them, and each one of them got to the point where it wouldn't no longer let me clear. You know, when they get full, you hit erase and clear the little data, clear all the audio off of. Neither one of them would let me do that anymore, so they got pitched. They're gone. So I don't even have those anymore. But I do want to play that one more time. And listening to that again, I remember going up those stairs and us noting, okay, there is a squeaky step here. We didn't think we would catch anything.
There's none of us that could get upstairs that quickly.
No,
so
we were.
Well, I could have 10 years ago, but
I could if something's after me.
Yeah.
Depending on what's pursuing me, I can get up those stairs.
Let's see. We got a couple more here, and I'm trying to set them up. But my God, they're so old, I can't remember. I'm just gonna have to pull it up and play it, and then we'll have to just kind of go over it afterwards.
All right, we're in here again. One last time. We're going to get ready to go home soon. You can't come with us, but we'd like to know that you're here.
There's like a small baby in the room with us.
That sounds like a younger person than the other ones did.
Yeah, it sounds like an infant, a toddler.
Let's see, where were we? We were in the living room. We're in the living room. Now, if you remember when we were in that living room, remember the pack of cigarettes that was not ours?
I remember the pack of cigarettes, yeah.
No, let me think. What
Marlboro
happened?
Reds?
We had set them on the coffee table.
That's right.
I think they were Reds.
Were they Marlboro Reds? So. We'd set them somewhere to see if they would, because she said things like her cigarettes in particular were always being moved, and then while we were there, we're like, oh, here's some cigarettes. We could, wherever we set them. There's a picture. I've got a picture here on the website from that of the picture, the cigarettes before. Oh yeah, you're right, Ty. Look, we set them there in front of the TV.
Are they Reds?
I believe they are.
They are.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we got a picture here of where they landed or ended up, which is on the floor. Okay, now that I see the house, a little bit more is coming back to me, because I also remember that she had poked holes in all the walls and had stuck incense burners in them.
That's right.
I remember this place vividly. Yeah.
I do now that I'm looking at these pictures.
That's
I remember
right.
it being a massive fire hazard.
Oh, and I also remember this. Man, look at this. We've got other things we can chat about here before we wrap this one up. You remember this, Ty? I wish I could flip it around.
We don't have the one piece of audio that do we
the really good one. No, and back then we were terrible at keeping track. We have the YouTube video. I think that audio grab came off that YouTube video.
It did come off that video.
So it's on there. It's a 7-minute video. It's on the website, mwghosthunters.com. This is number 0653. What you're looking at here is all that homework that was on the kitchen table. Remember, she said the kid stuff was always getting thrown around, so we left all that homework or whatever these are.
Because I'd like to get the audio clip off of this that is the where it says.
And you had it at one point because you sent it to me. But
I did, but
just like I had it at one point.
I have no idea. But there's audio on here I'd love for us to be able to play at some point down the road where it says "burn in hell."
Now, I remember that one.
Now,
Where is it?
It's on this video right here. But now, just to clear that up, for the past 12 years, we've been holding on to that piece of audio, thinking, "Man, this is so cool." This is the first piece John ever heard. First paranormal EVP he's ever heard, and he caught it where it says "burn." And then we got to listening to it about a year ago or two.
Yeah, we re-listened to
and it's like, wait a minute, there's more there. And we listen, it actually says "burn in hell."
Was that Bobby and I that caught that?
Yeah,
Listening on our speakers?
And
yeah.
what I think you should do is I would take that whole video, because that's the one piece that we caught. Listen to the whole video. There's no telling what
there's
all's
a
in that.
7-minute video there.
Just send me a link.
Okay, I can send you the link to this part
There's
of the
no
website.
telling what's in that video.
I remember that being like, I got goosebumps from that one.
I couldn't believe that because we were at the radio station doing the podcast, the old podcast there.
Yeah, and Ty brings that up.
And
I'm
it's like, wait a minute, what the hell? It's like it clearly says "burn in hell."
Burn in hell.
Just didn't have the technology to be able, and it's not like it took a lot of enhancement either.
And it's after like the I can almost show you where it's at on the video.
That's what I was reading the video synopsis to see if it said a time mark or there isn't one.
It's like there's a flashlight that goes off. I can almost guarantee you I could find it.
The flashlight goes off at 5 minutes 38 seconds. It does say that.
Okay, and then it's like I want to say this happens, and this could be wrong. I want to say it's like 3 minutes or something is when this occurs. This is before then, I think.
Back then, 10 years ago, our tool set with being able to manipulate audio, or not manipulate, but clean up
enhance
signals.
Clean
it was
up,
just terrible.
Frequencies. All we were limited to back then was just an EQ, basically.
Right.
That was it. We could turn up certain parts, but that's the gains was about all we could do.
Yeah.
And I still don't have the ability to do any of that. Tyler and Bobby have the ability to listen through, and John does too. But yeah, we heard.
Now you can actually do the visual spectrums. Put them up there, and you can actually remove like
spectral analyzers.
Yeah, you can remove a phone.
Dude,
that's ringing. It's insane what is capable. It's stuff I would have said was not
audio
possible.
tools, digital audio workstations have come.
It's
a very
awesome
long
that we
way
can
in 10
use
years.
that to try to pull out things that we've caught, but it's also kind of crappy that you could probably use that to insert things you did not catch.
You can.
Yeah, you can. Look, that's very possible. It would be unbelievably easy to fake. What
was that?
I heard
what
that.
was that?
I don't know. I heard that. That it sounded like talking to me.
Yeah, I heard talking.
I heard that one that time. I don't know.
And to me, it sounded like whenever I said it'd be easy to fake, and it says but maybe I completely heard
it
that
could
wrong.
be. I don't know. I just know I heard something that time. I didn't catch what it might have been. But
It absolutely would be easy to fake.
Yeah.
though.
It'd be easier. Easier than ever. You can come back in, and if you want to create a really creepy ghost sound, just take something out of phase and maneuver it around on some tracks.
And honestly,
but you could
with the quality of recorders we were using back then, if you wanted to put something in there, you don't even have to get the room sound right.
but you could see that in the waveform pretty easily, right?
No.
You could see that it's
No, you can't.
Absolutely not.
You cannot, because after you, especially now, if I came in and I created something and sent it to Ty, he would have no way, because he's looking at the one merged file now. He would have no way to know,
because it's all layered together.
Looking at a waveform, the only thing you can really get from it is seeing how loud something is.
That was why back then we were really big on trying to catch picture or video evidence, because that's very difficult to, like, for example, when Melissa did a tour here last week, or no, someone else, one of the other guys did a tour. They sent her a picture that they thought might have been a shadow figure in the basement here at Pythian Castle, or something. I think it was in the basement. I'm not sure where that
down
picture.
in the POW rooms, I want to say, downstairs.
But she sent that picture, and I was able in 2 clicks on Photoshop see that was a human being standing there, and it was. You can do that with pictures and videos. With audio, I guess I certainly don't have the capability to do that.
It's very difficult. You are subject to believing who has sent what to you, and that's why even on a lot of the stuff on the podcast that I mark and send around to everybody every weekend. And if you're just somebody that listens to the podcast, what I always do is I will take anything that comes off the podcast and mail it around. And if we think there's the possibility, you know what, it could be a noise on Dustin's mic or Tyler's mic or whatever, we'll just get rid of it. But you don't know for sure on those.
I mean, even with audio and video, it's hard to tell when something's been faked. I mean, obviously, if you have somebody who's got 15 years of experience,
there's got to be like an audio analyst out
at
there.
At the grassroots level, it comes down to you either believe us or you don't. It comes down to our credibility, I guess.
Look, I'm not saying that you can't tell if some things are fake, but I'm just telling you that other things would be very, very difficult to do. And even with video, come back in and look at some of the consumer. Come back in and look at some of the consumer grade camcorders that, for lack of a better word, that still exist. You can come back in and they will actually have glitches that occur in there. Now, it's not anything that's bad. It's just part of what happens. If you were walking, if you were taking a picture of, say, Tyler was coming around the corner and it glitched just as Tyler was coming around the corner, then bam, he's all of a sudden in the video. He didn't just appear magically. It's a glitch in the camera.
Yeah, it's essentially a splice.
What's happening now is we're going to see a lot more in the coming years. Deep fakes, videos.
Oh, there's some really good ones out there.
There's good ones now, but it's going to become a problem because there's going to be so many, like UFOs, for example.
Yes.
It's like a big one.
Yeah.
It's just so easy to fake
and
that
people
stuff.
can fake them so convincingly to the point where
on your phone.
You almost have to be like a 15-year VFX
I was going to say, like on your phone or on like a really cheap Chromebook that you buy off Walmart. It comes now with video editing software that you can.
If you go home tonight, or anybody that's listening right now, you can go online and you can download audio software that is 100% free that can do a lot. And if you play around with it enough and you get good enough at it, you can create and fake a lot of stuff.
In the right hands, it can be hugely powerful.
I mean, they can even make videos of like a world leader giving a speech that never actually happened, and it looks real. Like,
luckily, we're in a place right now where most people who've submitted photos to us, I mean, you can tell the people who are willing to fake a photo and send them to us so far have not been very good at it.
Well, but to give you an idea how much the technology is
not
changing.
challenging people there at all.
One of the major audio software companies 3 years ago announced that they were going to have mimicking technology for voices. And what this would be is you insert, and this goes on now with like Bugs Bunny. A lot of the Bugs Bunny cartoons, that's how they can still get them voiced by someone who's passed away.
Oh, it's like AI.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's going on.
They used that for the new Top Gun movie with Val Kilmer.
They used it for Top Gun. They used it for that really bad Lion King live action
Well, hell,
movie.
they even used it for Forrest Gump when JFK was talking.
You know, I mean, but that technology is not necessarily anything ultra new, but beforehand it was just a Hollywood only type thing. Now you've got one of the major audio companies that's out there that has announced that they have the technology and will be putting it in future updates. That's going to really create another bag of problems.
There's an app out there where you can drag over a picture of anybody, a celebrity, someone you know, and it will animate that into a 3D person.
I don't think people realize how crazy that is, because if you got that, you could end somebody's career with it. If you wanted to.
Well, that's the kind of stuff
you
I'm
could end
talking
somebody's
about.
relationship
Well,
if you wanted
this
to.
is why the audio
terrifying.
company that I'm talking about has not moved forward on that thing to send it out
really
yet.
think twice
Forget
about
ending
that.
a relationship. You could
start a war.
I was going to say you could take over a government with that.
Yeah. So yeah, it really comes down to credibility of the person providing the material, and hopefully we're credible enough that you believe us. I mean, hell, back then we didn't even know we caught 98% of this stuff when we were in that house until we started going through it, and that's when John, caught the piece on the video and texted at like 2:00 in the morning. I was still up listening to stuff too. That he heard something.
Maybe we knew what we were doing back then, but compared to now,
oh yeah,
we didn't really know what we were doing.
We knew what we were doing in as much as we were respectful of the homeowner and anything that might be there.
Oh, yeah.
Our methods have improved. significantly, and our technology's improved.
But I would really like to. I'd really like for Ty to pull down that entire 7-minute video because it makes me wonder what else is in that video.
There's no telling.
That we never paid any attention to.
Yeah, it's a 7-minute video. It's a YouTube video. I can send you the link. It's all on there. It is on the website.
There's even places with YouTube that will grab the audio for you into MP3, and then you can just take the MP3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I would like to bring in that for sure. Even if our topic, whenever we come back here in a couple of weeks or whatever, isn't that, I would like to play that because it's really good and compelling. Because it was 12, 11 years later when we discovered what it actually says.
Well, and that was also my moment of
your first one.
Oh my God, this is real.
Yeah, your first one. So if you want to look through some of that stuff, we've got it on the website at mwghosthunters.com. It's 0653. I'm still working on. I actually have improved the numbering system. I just haven't published the new website yet, so it will be better soon. But right now, when you go on there, go to the evidence archives. It's 0653, and you can listen through and look through all that stuff on there. When we come back next time, I think we decided, because we're going to do that outside investigation here coming up really soon in July, and we're going to kind of run through what we caught last time that we were there many years ago, and I guess we'll just hit that next time.
And we'll be back soon with another episode of Midwest Ghost Hunters Dark Matter Podcast.